Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vakatunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviknam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Let's chant from verse 4 to verse 9. Ready? Na karma nama narambham naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. We change my key. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatutishthatya karma krita karyate hyavashah karma sarva prakriti jagunaihi. Verse 6. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyartan vimudhatma mithyacharasa uchyate yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabhate arjuna karmendriyeh karma yogam asaktas savishishyate niyatam kuru karmatvam karmachyayo hyakarmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasiddheda karmanaha yajñarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. What chapter are we studying? 3? Chapter 4? Oh, chapter 3. Good. What chapter are we studying? Chapter 3. Okay. Just checking. Okay. All right. So let's see. So, if you want to get realized, what do you have to do? Karma yoga. But immediately before getting realized, what do you have to do? Jnana yoga. Okay? In order to get realized, one has to do meditation on I am Brahman. Okay? And what two things do you need to do meditation that I am Brahman successfully? Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. So purity of heart and focus of the intellect. Single-pointed focus of the intellect. This point is clear? How do you get these two things? No. Karma Yoga. Okay? What is the subject of chapter 3? Karma Yoga. Okay? So you do Karma Yoga, you get purity of heart and focus of the intellect. Then with that, you do meditation that I am Brahman. And then, what happens finally? What's going on? Moksha, realization. Okay. Everyone has to say the answer out loud, even if it's wrong. Okay? Even if you're saying wrong answer. So first you start with Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga gives you what? Very good. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. Then once you have Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata, you do what? You do Jnana Yoga. You meditate that I am Brahman, and meditation that I am Brahman leads to what? Moksha, realization. Okay? Very good. So that is verse 4. Now, Arjuna, what does he want to do? He wants to give up his action. So what does Lord Krishna say? Lord Krishna says, doing nothing is impossible. Even if you want to sit down and not do anything, still you're doing something. Because what's happening? The brain is still working. You are still thinking. So even if you're sitting down and doing nothing, you're still thinking, right? Because the mind is just going to keep going and going. Especially if you don't have Chitta Shuddhi, mind will just keep going and going and going. And thinking is a mental action. So what is the point of verse 5? Point of verse 5 is to say that doing nothing is impossible. Even if you think you're not doing anything, still the mind is thinking, and that is an action. Okay? Then verse 6 says, even if you're going to sit down and try to meditate, if you don't have Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata, will that meditation be successful? No, that meditation will not be successful, because so easily you'll be distracted by anything that happens around you, or even if nothing is happening around you, you'll just be so distracted by the other thoughts in your own mind. So instead of thinking, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, you'll be thinking about something else. So the meditation will not be successful. In fact, you'll be deluded. You'll think that, what do I mean you'll be deluded? You'll think that you're making progress in meditation by meditating for 2 hours, but because you've been thinking of something else, you've not been meditating at all. But you'll think you have made some progress. And you'll be a hypocrite. Why will you be a hypocrite? Because on the outside, you'll look perfectly still. Legs are crossed, back is straight, your eyes are closed, not moving at all. Perfect posture also you may even have. So on the outside, you'll look perfectly still. But on the inside, you'll be thinking, what time is dinner? I wonder what I'm going to get for dinner today. I really hope it's pizza or whatever. So instead of thinking I am Brahman, you'll be thinking of all other things, and you'll actually be building a pattern of being distracted during meditation. It'll make meditation more difficult also. Is it clear? Right? So this is like if you do nothing else and devote your life to meditation without being properly prepared, it'll be a backward step in your spiritual progress. Then after verse 6, in verse 7, they give the opposite case. A karma yogi, one who engages themselves in selfless, dedicated action to the Lord and accepts the result as coming from God. They will look very, very restless. They'll be running here, they'll be running there, they'll be on the phone talking to people, trying to get things done. They'll be sending emails and communicating and doing this and that, they'll look very restless on the outside. But because of that dedicated spirit of work and worship, on the inside, their mind will be very focused. It may not be focused on I am Brahman, but it'll be focused on the task. So they'll be meditating as such on the task that they're doing with a sense of reverence and love for the Lord in their heart. So on the outside, very, very restless looking, but on the inside, very focused. What was the person in the last verse? On the outside, very, very still looking, but on the inside, distracted. But the Karma Yoga on the outside, very active, on the inside, very calm, very focused, right? And this focus will lead them to liberation. In verse 8, it says, therefore, Lord Krishna says, do your duty. Do your duty. Whatever work there is to do, you must do that. Because if you don't do any work, if you don't do anything at all, what will happen is your body will deteriorate. You won't even be able to feed yourself if you don't do any work. Like if you stop working and all your money runs out, you won't even be able to sustain yourself and your family. If you're not doing anything, your mind and emotions will run out of control. And if you don't do anything, the intellect will not have that stability. It will not have those values to stick to. So you must do work. But in what spirit should you do the work? In verse 9 it says, do this work in the spirit of Karma Yoga. Do that work in which, out of a sense of gratitude for the Lord, you dedicate your actions to the Lord and therefore do your best. And having done your best, you gracefully accept whatever result comes. Because you know that you've done everything that you've done. Good. And because you've dedicated that action with love to the Lord, what will the Lord do? The Lord will give you whatever is best for you at that time. Clear? So this is the spirit of Karma Yoga in which you'll act for the best. Otherwise, if you act in a different way, if you act with selfish intent, sometimes, we say, act selflessly versus act selfishly. But when we really think about our lives, a lot of our action is like kind of routine, pre-programmed, right? We deal with machines all the time. So then we become more like the machines in a way, right? Our stuff is all kind of done according to a routine or a schedule. We don't think about why we're doing it. We don't think about doing it selfishly versus selflessly. We just kind of think, this is what I'm supposed to do. And we kind of just very blandly act, right? So it's kind of routine. Or how do we act? If I don't do this thing, then who is going to come and nag me or say something to me about it, right? And then we're motivated by that. Or a boss will come and penalize me and punish me if I don't do this thing by this time, right? It's such a lifeless, mechanical, and monotonous way of acting that we've fallen into. Yes or no? Do we observe the self or not? Think of why we do what we do. It's not even so much that it's selfish, because Bhagavad Gita does this kind of thing, and then scriptures do this thing kind of selfless versus selfish. It's kind of just routine, and you don't want to be complained at by someone, right? But like I said, this is the life has been taken out of life, so it becomes lifeless. It's just kind of mechanical. We're acting like machines. Are you a machine? Are you sure? No? Someone said no. They said no, and then they said no. Are you a machine? Are you sure? So should you act like a machine? No. You should act with purpose. You should act with motivation. right? It should not be mechanical. You should not just be trying to avoid getting yelled at or getting talked to. Whatever you're doing, you should know why you're doing it. And then why you're doing it, you should know what the reason is for even that why. In order to have a deeper feeling, deeper meaning, deeper everything about life, you have to think deeply. Otherwise, the whole life goes in very shallow waters. Does it make sense? So think deeply about life. If all these classes are here so that we think a little bit more deeply about the purpose of life. Otherwise, years and years go by, decades and decades go by, and you'll think, what happened? Where did all the time go? Yes or no? Don't let that happen. You may be 30, 40 years old, 50, even older than that. The time is very precious. They say, the quote is, life is short, time is fleeting. I don't like that because I don't want to think of life as being short. I just flip it, Time is short and life is fleeting. Okay, so make the best use of your time. First, think about why you're doing what you're doing. You don't have to change what you're doing. I didn't say you have to necessarily change what you're doing. But when you think about why you're doing what you're doing, you can shift the attitude with which you do things. That attitude is the most important thing. And this is not a cliched statement. That attitude will dictate the way that you feel about life. Understood? Yes. Okay, that's verse 9. If you don't work in the karma yoga sense, action will just bind you. It'll bind you to desire. It'll bind you to your vasanas, like your inherent tendencies that you already have. It'll bind you to pride and greed. And what else? Anger, delusion, jealousy. It'll bind you to all these things. It'll even bind you to a future birth and death. So don't get bound by all these things. Free yourself through karma yoga. Dedicate your action to a higher purpose. Okay, so verses 4 through 9, the main point of these 4 through 9 is 6 verses. Of these 6 verses is to say, do karma yoga because eventually it'll lead to realization. Okay? Now, in verses 10 through 13, another reason is going to be given to do karma yoga. It says, do karma yoga because the Lord, in this case Lord Brahma, said you should do karma yoga. The very creator of the universe himself said, do karma yoga. And therefore you should do it. Verse 10. I'll chant, please repeat. Saha yajna praja srishtva Purovacha prajapatihi Anena prasavishyadvam Eshavostvištva kamadhuka. Together? Let's try that last one again. Eshavostvištva kamadhuka. One more time. Eshavostvištva kamadhuka. Together. Saha yajna praja srishtva Purovacha prajapatihi Anena prasavishyadvam Eshavostvištva kamadhuka. So, Prajapati. Prajapati means Lord Brahma. Prajapati means, literally means the Lord of all the beings. The Lord of all the, sometimes Praja means subjects, but Lord of all beings. Creator of all beings is Lord Brahma. Okay, also known as Hiranyagarbha. Okay, Prajapati. Okay, so what happened? Prajapati Prajaha Srishtva, having created all the beings. So Lord Brahma, having created all the various beings that there are in this universe, but particularly the human beings, he created them along with yajna, saha yajnaha. He created all the beings along with yajna. So at the same time that Lord Brahma created all the beings in the universe, he created yajna simultaneously. Okay? So what is yajna? Yajna here is not just referring to the ritual of throwing havas into the fire, but yajna has an expanded meaning. It is referring to duties. Right now we feel that mainly or only our duty is to take care of ourselves and take care of our family, but that is a very horribly limited understanding of what duty is. Yajna here is referring to the Pancamahayajnas, the 5 great yajnas. So the 5 great yajnas are, first is Brahma Yajna. Okay? So here Brahma refers to let me list all of them, and then I'll tell what each of them are. So Brahma Yajna. Brahma here refers to the Veda. So Brahma Yajna it also can be called Rishi Yajna. So first one is Brahma Yajna or Rishi Yajna. Let me make another point here. These 5 yajnas are also called as 5 rinas. What does rina mean? Debt. The 5 debts. Okay? So you can call it Brahma Rina or Rishi Rina. So we call it Brahma Yajna, Rishi Yajna, or Brahma Rina or Rishi Rina. Okay? So far so good? The second one is called Manushya Yajna. Okay? Manushya means man, human being. Okay? Also it can be called as Nr Yajna. Okay? And then in turn it can be called Manushya Rina or Nr Rina. I think Nr Rina is a palindrome. If you think, no, it's not. It's not. Okay? Sorry, silly thought. Okay? So, what was the first one? Brahma Yajna. What is the second one? Manushya Yajna. Now, third one is called as Bhuta Yajna. Okay? So, Bhuta here is not a ghost or anything like that. Okay? Bhuta is referring to the animals and the other beings that are there in this world, as well as the environment, the rivers, the mountain, the air, the trees, etc. Okay? So, Bhuta Yajna. You have a responsibility to nature and to the animals. Clear? So that is a third yajna. Bhuta Yajna or Bhuta Rina. Is it clear? So what is the third one? Bhuta Yajna. Then the fourth one is Pitra Yajna. Pitra Yajna or Pitra Rina. Who are Pitras? Pitras are our ancestors. Okay? Not just the ones that have gone to the Pitraloka, but the ones that are here with us also. Okay? So Pitra Yajna, that duty or that debt that we have towards the Pitras, to the ancestors. Number 4. Then number 5 is Deva Yajna. Okay? So that duty or that debt that we have towards the gods. Okay? Are you writing this down? Okay. So what was the first one? Brahma Yajna. Very good. What was the second one? Manushya Yajna. What is the third one? Bhuta Yajna. What is the fourth one? Pitra Yajna. And what is the fifth one? Deva Yajna. Again, what is the first one? Brahma Yajna. What is the second one? Manushya Yajna. What is the third one? Bhuta Yajna. Fourth one is? And fifth one is Brahma Yajna. Okay. So what is, first one that we said was Brahma Yajna. So what is Brahma Yajna? Brahma here means Veda. Okay. So our duty towards the Veda. What are our duties towards the Veda? What has the Veda provided us with? The Veda has provided us with our culture, right? See, what is history? History is a recording of the events of the rise and falls of various empires, right? And in Indian history, we've seen, whether it's indigenous to India or whether it's from outside India, we've seen so many empires rise and fall. But what has remained constant in India? The culture. The civilization of India has been there for so many thousands of years. And that culture, that civilization is based on the Veda, right? So you have one civilization that has lasted for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You have many empires rising up and falling within that. But that culture has always remained a Vedic culture, a Sanatana Dharma culture. And that culture dictates the ways in which we can live a life that is good, wholesome, and leading to the very, very highest good. Yes? We are very blessed to have this culture. So we have a debt to pay. We have a debt. We have a rina that we have to fulfill to this culture. And how do we, what yajna do we do to fulfill this debt? We do Brahma Yajna. We do Veda Yajna, which means that we must study the Veda, we must chant the Veda, we must support the study and chanting of the Veda, and we have to share, right? So study, chant, support, and share. We share it with others and we share it with our children. Okay, so this is Brahma Yajna. We must, in order to sustain our culture, we must know the Veda. Okay? We can know Veda and all the texts that are derived from the Veda. Upanishad is part of the Veda, such as Bhagavad Gita. Is it clear? Okay, so this is our Brahma Yajna. Then Manushya Yajna. That is our duty, that is our debt to the people around us. Okay? So in order to do anything, we cannot do everything by ourselves. It's very difficult, We depend on so many other people for everything that we have. Don't you depend on the farmers, right? Without the farmers, you won't have any food. Don't you depend on the government to build the roads and fix the roads, right? Don't we depend on the utilities to keep the electricity and water running? If the electricity doesn't run for 2-3 hours, that's like a big nightmare and headache, right? We depend on the internet companies and the media companies also now. Like if the internet goes down for like 2-3 hours, that's also like a huge thing, right? So, and then for all the products that we use, somebody has to design that, somebody has to set up the manufacturing facility, then someone has to actually do the manufacturing, and someone has to pick it up and deliver it to us, build all the web portals so we know what to buy. So many things have to happen, right? Somebody has to be running the store if it doesn't get delivered directly to our door. So we're dependent on people for everything. We have a debt to all the other people in the society. Okay? So in order to repay that debt, whenever we see someone in need or someone asks us for help, then we should help the people around us. We should serve the people around us. We should make sure we're doing our job efficiently as possible also. So this is how we fulfill our debt to our fellow people. Clear? So that is Manushya Yajna. Third one is Bhuta Yajna. Okay? We're living in an ecosystem, now they say, right? We're living in an ecosystem, And every being in that ecosystem, whether it's a plant or animal, has a very particular role it has to play. And when we lose, like when some animal or plant goes extinct, we lose so much. Yes or no, right? So we have to maintain the ecology, We have to, make sure we don't overuse electricity. We have to make sure that we save water. We have to make sure that we recycle and don't litter, all those things. Then we have to take care of the animals too, Depending on where you live, instead of throwing your food scraps in the trash, where you should just put your food scraps in your backyard, if possible, and the animals will come there and eat it, okay? Right? Like in India, in the villages and stuff like that, don't you see that? They'll make some extra rotis even. Then they'll put it kind of, for us, where like our mailbox would be a little bit away from the house. And then the cows that are walking by will just come and eat that roti that's there. And the crows will also come and eat that, right? So we should, is that true or not? I've seen it, okay? So we should protect and serve the animals. We should never, unless there's a need to do so, we should never harm the animals, okay? Mosquito comes and bites you, don't say, I'm not going to hit this mosquito, I'm doing my bhuta yajna. No, you can hit that mosquito, okay? Termites are eating your house. Don't say, we have to let the termites eat, I'm doing bhuta. It's very foolish, right? You take care of those kind. Don't take anything to an extreme. Be very reasonable, okay? But as far as possible, don't harm the animals. Point on bhuta yajna is clear? Next one is Pitra Yajna, our duty to the ancestors, right? Because the ancestors have carried over the culture, lived in a very ideal and spiritual way, have been very wonderful. Our ancestors, we have a debt to pay to the ancestors. So how do we repay that debt to ancestors? We do Pitra Yajna. So main way that we do it is through our Shraddha Karma, through Pindadana, through Tarpanam, through these kind of rituals, we nourish the Pitras. So we nourish the Pitras that are in the heaven by offering this Pindadana and the till we offer in Tarpanam, the mustard seed we offer in Tarpanam. Through that way, we nourish the ancestors in the heavens, and in return, they bless us also, right? Then for those ancestors that we have who are living, we should honor, respect them, and take care of them as they become older. Correct? Okay. And the last one is Deva Yajna. Okay? So Deva Yajna is that worship of the Devatas. Devatas here means like Indra, Varuna, Vayu, and Agni. These are the Devatas who ensure that the cosmos functions in a proper way. Who make sure that the rains come in a right amount, who make sure that even the sun comes in the right amount to us, that the winds blow, that all these various phenomena of nature are maintained in a proper way. We should nourish those devatas. Even there are things like Gariri Ishti Yaga. So this is that, I think I referred to last time. This is that yaga which they do, by which they can make the rains come. Even still now they're doing it there in India. So don't think these are kind of magic, hocus pocus kind of things. These are real things that are still being done now also to maintain the proper functioning of the cosmos. Okay? So there's Brahma Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Bhuti Yajna, Pitra Yajna, and Deva Yajna. All these 5 things are done. Okay? So Lord Brahma created all these 5 yajnas when he created all the beings, including human beings. And Lord Brahma said, it says Uvacha. So Lord Brahma said. For the rest of these verses 10 to 13, this is Lord Krishna quoting Lord Brahma. So from now on, it's Lord Brahma saying. So what did Lord Brahma said? Anena, by this yajna, by these 5 yajnas, Prasai Vishyadvam, you will all prosper. you prosper. May you prosper by these 5 yajnas. Esha vo astu ashtakamaduk. May this yajna for you all, may it be a kamaduk. What is kamaduk? Kamaduk is kamadhena, or surabhi, or shabala. These are all, who are all these? These are all wish-fulfilling cows. Like Sage Vashishta, Rishi Vashishta, he had a wish-fulfilling cow. Okay? How many wishes could this cow grant? Not 1, not 2, not 3. As many wishes as that you have, as many desires that you have, that cow would fulfill. This is not some genie from Aladdin or something like that. Okay? This cow, as long as you have that cow, it'll fulfill all your wishes. Like that, yajna is like that cow. Whenever you perform your duties, you will be able to get whatever righteous thing that you want. Please don't think you'll get unrighteous things through yajna. Yajna is righteous, so whatever righteous thing you want, you'll be able to get. Okay? How does it work that you can get what you want through yajna? Let's say in verse 11. Please repeat. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha sheyah paramavapsyata. Together. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha sheyah paramavapsyata. So here they take the example of Deva Yajna, but it's applicable to all the other 4 yajnas. Anena means by this yajna. By here, Deva Yajna, Devan Bhavayata. Okay, so by the Deva Yajna, the Devatas, the Indra, Devatas such as Indra, Agni, etc., they are Bhavayata. They are worshipped. So they are nourished. They are sustained. They are made to be happy. They are made to be delighted. So the Devatas, whenever we perform the Deva Yajna, whenever we throw the ghee or the havis or whichever thing into the fire of the Yajna, those Devatas, they're made very happy and they are nourished by that offering, by that oblation. There's a word called oblation. Okay? English word. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. Vaha means for you or for you all. So Te devaha. Those devatas, may they nourish all of you. May they nourish all the people. So whenever we nourish the devatas, they in turn nourish us also. Lord Brahma is saying, may the devatas be nourished by your yajna, and may the devatas in return nourish you with proper rains, with proper wind, with proper functioning of the cosmos. So far clear? Parasparam bhavayantaha. Parasparam means mutually, like for each other. Parasparam bhavayantaha. So may you all nourish each other, mutually nourish each other. Shreyah paramavapsyata. And you will attain, avapsyata, may you attain parama, the highest, shreya, good. So, you nourish the devatas through yajna, the devatas will nourish you all with proper functioning of the cosmos, and by properly nourishing each other, then may you attain the highest good. May you attain material prosperity, may you attain the spiritual prosperity as well. Okay, so that is how it works. It's a give and take system, okay, but not a greedy give and take system where you're trying to give as little as possible and get the most, right? That's called corporate negotiation. Okay? So it's not that kind of give and take, but it's a very graciously done. It's done out of love. Okay? So like in our families, we should operate. As husbands and wives, we should operate in that way. You're nourishing each other. Please repeat. Ishtan bhogan hivo devaha. Dhasyante yajna bhavitaha. Ter dattana pradayebhyo. Ter dattana pradayebhyo. Yo bhungte stena eva saha. Together. Ishtan bhogan hivo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha ter dattana pradayebhyo yo bhungte stena eva saha. So yajna bhavitaha devaha. So those devatas who have been nourished, who have been delighted by the performance of yajna, vo means vaha, vaha means for you all. So for you all, ishtan bhog, for you all, dasyante, those they will give. The devatas will give ishtan bhogan. So ishtan bhogan means whatever you desire. So those devatas who are nourished, who are sustained by yajna, they will give everyone whatever they desire. Meaning everyone wants the cosmos to function properly? Yes. Do we want to be in a drought? No. This has been a very long drought, right? Do we want to be in a flood? No, we don't want to be in a flood either. The devatas will sustain the cosmos. The devatas will give whatever that we want. When we do shraddha for the pitras, then the pitras will bless us. When we maintain the environment, the ecosystem, the bhutas, then the bhutas will be very good to us. When we study the scriptures and share the scriptures, then we will benefit and the society will benefit from the study of the scriptures. Spiritually we will grow, even materially we will grow from the studying the scriptures. And then when we serve our fellow man, the entire society, then the society will also benefit. And we're part of the society, so we'll also benefit. Even when one person prays to the gods, like let's say we pray for rain. One person or even a lot of people pray for good rains, right? Then Indra will provide those good rains. But he's not just going to have clouds follow those people who did the yajna, right? So this person gets a rain cloud, that person gets a rain cloud, and rain will only fall on them, right? Who gets the rains? Everybody gets the rains, right? So there's a possibility that only some people did the yajna, or a good number of people did the yajna, but everybody gets the rains, even if they didn't do the yajna. So what about those people who didn't do the yajna? Right? So next line tells that. It says, Taihi, this line is a little bit difficult grammatically. It says, Taihi dattan. So, that which is given by the Lord, here, it's like for the example, for those rains given by the Lord, by all the gods, for those rains given by all the gods, for those who do not do the yajna for the God's sake, For those who did not do the yajna for the God's sake. Apradaya ebhya. Apradaya means those who did not give. For those who did not give. And ebhya, or rather it means for one who did not give. Ebhya means for the gods. Ebhyahi means for the gods. Okay? So, for those who did not give for the gods that gave to them, for those who did not do the yajna, but took the benefit from the Lord, one who enjoys but does not give back, they are a thief. Saha eva stena. They indeed are a thief. Okay? Let's not bother with the grammar. Okay? So for one who didn't do the yajna but took the benefit from the Lord, such a person is a thief. Okay? They are a thief. So Lord Brahma says, if you don't do your yajna but you take the benefit, you are a thief. If you take the benefit of the rains without having done yajna, you are a thief. If you take the benefit of having all your fellow people produce everything for you, but you're not contributing back, you are a thief. If you're not protecting the environment, you are a thief. If you're not spreading if you're benefiting from everyone else following the scriptures and you're not following, you're not studying, you're a thief. Being a thief is not a good. Is being a thief a good thing? That is such a weak answer. It makes me think that you think being a thief is a good thing. Is being a thief a good thing? No. Definitely no. Okay? So do your yajna. Don't be a thief. If you're taking the benefit, you have to contribute. Otherwise, you're stealing. You're being a thief. Meaning is understood, and it's applicable to all the 5 yajnas. Okay. Last verse for today, verse 13. Yajna shishtashinas santo muchyante sarva kilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Together, yajna shistashinas santo muchyante sarva kilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papa ye pachantyatma karanat. So, yajna shishta. There's a concept called yajna shishta. Shishta means the remainder or remnants, and yajna means the yajna. So after we do like a havan, usually there's like a little, whatever ghee is left over, we'll drink that ghee. That ghee that we drink after the yajna is yajna shishta. Or we'll take like from the ashes of the yajna, we'll take some of that ashes and we'll put it on our head. That is also like yajna shishta. So ashinaha means the one who enjoys or the one who partakes. So for those who partake in the remnants of the yajna, okay? So the partakers of the remnants of the yajna is yajna shishtashina, okay? Concept is understood, the literal concept. Okay, so what does it mean in the context of the Pancamahayajnas, right? You go to work, right? And you spend your time at work and you earn your money from work, right? This is very easy to understand, okay? Then next, you have to spend that money on all the things that you need. Your mortgage payment, your car payment, all the kids' classes, all the utility bills, etc., groceries. So all these things you have to spend on, and then a certain amount of clothes you have to buy every month or a couple months or something like that. All that money you spend on the things that you need. Then what you should do, you should spend your time, you should spend your money on doing your Pancamahayajnas, all your duties to the society, right? So in terms of money, you should donate to the temples. You should donate to those places which are sustaining the culture. And then in terms of time, a little bit of time each day or each week should be spent, improving the environment, taking care of the animals, praying and remembering the pitras, volunteering here and there. All of those things are your Pancamahayajnas. Then, after that, whatever money and time that you have, that is yajna shishta. That is what is left over after doing the yajnas. Okay? And that you can spend on, whatever you want to spend on. Vacation, entertainment, whatever things that you want to buy. So that is the righteous way of living, First you spend your time and money on what you need, right? Otherwise you won't be able to earn money anymore, okay? So first you spend your time and money on what you need, then your time and money should be spent fulfilling your Pancamahayajnas, donation, charity, sustaining things. And then your time and money can spend as you wish. Okay? So that is how it is supposed to work. And what do they say? For a person who lives this way, they are santaha. They are saints. For people who live this way, they are very exalted. They are saints. And what happens? Muchyante sarva kilbishehi. They are freed from all sins, right? When you ensure that the society operates in a harmonious way, then that society will treat you in kind, in a very harmonious way. So you will be freed from all of the sins. Muchyante sarva kilbishehi. But what happens for the other people? See, some people earn the money, maybe most people you can say. Some people earn the money and they spend all the money on themselves. And what else do? They take every means to avoid paying taxes also, right? So they're not even giving back in the way that they absolutely should. Do we see that or not? Right? So a lot of people, whatever money they earn, they spend it thinking only of themselves and their own family. They've neglected all their Pancamahayajnas. They've neglected all their duties. Okay? So how does Lord Krishna describe these people? He uses these words. Yea, for those who pachanti atmakaranat, for those who cook and eat only for themselves. So for those who earn and spend their time and money only on themselves, atmakaranat, for their own sake. What happens to these people? Te papaha tvagam bhunjate. So in the te papaha tu agham bhunjate. Such kind of people, they're not saints. What is the opposite of saints? They are sinners. They are papaha. So such people, by not doing their duty, they are sinning. And indeed what happens? Bhunjate, they eat agham. They eat sin. So for those people who spend only to spend on them, or who earn only to spend on themselves, these people are sinners who eat sin. And what's a common phrase? You are what you eat. Oh my God. So if you eat sin, you're a sinner. So if you don't do your Pancamahayajnas, you eat sin, and then you are a sinner. Okay? And this is Lord, who's saying this? Lord Krishna? Kind of. But who's really saying? Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma originally said. Okay? And if Lord Brahma is saying, means you better follow. And if Lord Krishna is quoting Lord Brahma, that means that Lord Krishna is highlighting this very important thing that you must follow. It's not just a suggestion, it is a command. So like I said before, really think about how you're living your life. If you're eating yajna shishta, you're a saint. But if you're eating sin, then you are a sinner. This word sinner, I don't like using it because it's more like a Christian kind of terminology. You're a boppy, okay? Okay. So if you eat papa, you're a boppy, okay? Think about these things. Don't just walk out of here and then 2 minutes later forget everything we said in the last hour. Don't have an amnesia, okay? You remember all these things. This is for your life. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.